Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Tuesday edition of the JP Peterson Show. We're back in studio, so my mic sounds so much better. Sorry for technical difficulties yesterday. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We got an awesome show today. We had a really good show today. I'm excited. Tim Ham's here from our Dallas affiliate, FanStream Sports DFW. What's up, partner? How are you?
JP, I've got two sports things in my craw.
Okay. All right.
We'll get into one of them very near and dear to your heart. We were just discussing off the air.
Yes.
And the other has to do with this fiasco of a travesty of a PGA Tour event up in filthy Delphia this past week.
What? Well, now you're mad about that too?
Just something very
Can't
specific.
You just be happy about this scam that Dallas ran with the NBA?
How about that?
Selling Luka to the Lakers for the league to get him out of Dallas because he didn't want to pay him, and then them rewarding you with Cooper Flagg and the number one.
Is that who it's going to? Everybody's saying that. Is that who it's going to be? I don't know.
Or are they going to trade it for Giannis? Maybe.
No,
that's what they're saying. No,
we'll get into that too because
that's completely corrupt. The NBA is completely corrupt.
The entire NBA draft lottery has been corrupt since year one.
Yeah.
I mean, they invented it so that Patrick Ewing could go to the Knicks.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason.
Fantastic. Hey, control what you can control, bro. Control what you can control. And that's what they can control.
So burning up this morning.
So wrestling of them. But yeah, congratulations to the Dallas Mavericks.
And it pisses
their
me off.
1.8% chance to win the lottery. Oh, like how would you constantly trade Luka to the Lakers? Like, who would do that? Like, why would you do that? I know you have your feelings on that. Well, now we know. Why they would do that. They worked it all out. That's great.
Never did I see that coming, though. By the way, the Mavericks were really, really bad for a really long time and never had the number one pick. I think they had the best odds.
Yeah,
like
many times.
3 or 4 years spread out. Never got the number one pick.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. That's good stuff. And we got lots to get into. Evan Longoria. I'm wearing my Starburst today in honor of the great Evan Longoria. I would not don the Starburst for any other reason, but the great Evan Longoria, I will do that for. And by the way, so June 7th, he's going to retire as a Ray. He's going to sign the old one-day contract. Are they going to pay him anything, by the way? No.
Cup of coffee. I think they paid him plenty, haven't they?
They didn't pay him plenty. The Giants did.
Well, we figured that out too.
Yeah, I was trying to go back and get the contract information, and I'm not a premium member of Sports Track, so I don't have all of it. But his guys like, how much did we actually pay him? And I was like, all right, well, there was the pre-arbitration extension, 6 years, $17 million. Okay, that went through 2016, and then 2017 we signed to a 6-year, $100 million contract. And then we traded him the next year.
Like the next year, right?
Right.
But so were they? I wonder if they were still on the hook for some of that, as sometimes you will have in those trades.
I don't think so. I'd have to do a little bit more research.
That happens a lot, where you just signed a dude to a big deal, but then you decide you want to trade him to get out from under some of it.
I think they did eat a little bit of it, but I don't know how much. I'll have to go back and check. But my skinny research here did not get to that last part there, so I apologize. But that was that's not what this is about. This is about celebrating Longo and the greatness that was, obviously the premier player in the history of the franchise. By the way, we're going to get into some Bucs stuff. We got some sound from Tez Johnson I wanted to play. Levante David. Schedule release leaks are out there. The schedule release thing just want to see something that sticks in my craw. That whole thing that has become the schedule release is just.
I like the schedule release. I hate the dog and pony show that it's become.
Well, okay, that might be better.
Like, because sometimes the schedule release videos are really, really cool. I don't know how the Bucs handle this normally.
Oh, their social media.
Yeah, those are entertaining.
Hat I got on today. This hat is bothering me today.
Looks like a DraftKings hat. What is that?
It's a U.S. Open Torrey Pines hat.
Oh,
I didn't have anything that would match this. The purple comes out purple on this thing. Anyway,
yeah, it looks a little purple.
Nobody effing cares.
Put on backwards.
Yeah, I might do that. So yeah, it's the schedule release. There's some leaks that are out there, so we'll get into some of that.
Very reliable leaks, by the way. They're probably true.
Some of them are. Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them come from reputable sources. Some of them don't.
Some of them don't.
Some of them don't.
When we talk Bucs, we've got a lot of Bucs stuff here. As I believe yesterday, 2 very under the radar undrafted free agents signed 90-man roster contracts. And
they signed a guy.
I will get into those.
Well, I think the numbers are pretty cool.
Yeah.
They signed a guy that played the most games in the history of college football.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of games. I'm like, oh, this dude is a COVID dream in terms of 7 years in college football. You know, and by the way, there's lawsuits out there now that are challenging the eligibility rules of the NCAA so guys can stay in college forever. We haven't really taled about that. I kind of want to talk about
so
that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
I don't think I like that. Why is that his fault?
I don't know. He wasn't even in office anymore.
Well, you can make a case. But
he's from Chicago or Kenya, wherever you believe. Or Hawaii, I don't know.
Why, you got his birth certificate handy?
Everybody has his birth certificate, and it's not America. Conspiracy theory.
Stop it. Oh my God. We went down the hole 7 minutes in, we're down the hole. Anyway.
Didn't take long.
Anyway, so we got Bucs talk to get to. I want to get into hockey again. Did you see the Panthers owner was suspended on Twitter? Did you see that back and forth? Oh, we got to get into that.
That was beautiful.
The Orlando people are still telling me that the Rays are going to move there. I swear to God, if one of you people put another goddamn message in here about Brody Brissell, I'm going to freaking lose my. It's like Brody put out another video. Well, then the Rays are moving. Well, that's the 700th video he's put out. I think that's the magic number. So the Rays are moving to Orlando. Can we stop now? Do I have to do this early in the morning? Who did that? Was it Danny Boy? I love you, Danny Boy, but you're driving me crazy with this Brody Brissell BS. And it's not, and I love Brody. Brody's great. He's a fellow hockey broadcaster, but every time he puts out a video on the Rays, you guys don't have to run to me and say, hey, Brody put out another video. All right. So Evan's going on his video. Yeah. Why hasn't he asked me to come on? You know, I told him I'd come on. I don't know. Why doesn't he want me to come? I don't know. But anyway, so that's great. I mean, so he took Evan to be on his videos. I don't. It's good for him. But again, as I said, would you rather be on the side that there's lots of Brody Brissell videos, a rich dude who has written no checks to buy any land or do anything but say, yeah, I want to buy the Rays. We got plenty of those people. Okay. You want to be on that side, a side where the only political figure that is weighed in Orlando is the Orange County commissioner, Demings, who basically said, we'll listen, but it has to show return on investment. We're not just jumping in there because, the Rays are going to move. He's like, no, it's like, it doesn't look like it makes sense, but if it makes sense, we'll look at it. There's been $1, one vote taken. Nobody in government has actually really spoken highly of this idea, as far as I can see. Mm-hmm. They've done nothing. It's a bunch of conjecture. Or would you rather be on the side where the commissioner of the sport has said dozens of times Tampa Bay is where we want the team? I'm going to say I want it on the side of what the commissioner is saying. And the fact that there's multiple groups, multiple elite Tampa businessmen that want to buy the team and build a stadium in Tampa. and the commissioner's working with them. They've talked with DeSantis. They've talked with Ken Hagen. All of this stuff going on behind the scenes. Would you rather you have almost 30 years of history building a fan base in the market, a bigger market, or move to Orlando? I mean, which side do you want to be on? You guys are like getting all antsy just because there's a lot of stuff out there. Mike Bianchi columns and Brody Brazil videos are wonderful things. They're great things. They're fantastic. They do nothing to move the needle. Nothing. It means nothing. It's just reporting and talking. So which side do you want to be on? I'll take Tampa Bay. I'm good with that. So again, these are great. It's great that Orlando's talking about it. Dreamers. The pictures are wonderful. The renderings are fantastic. I would love to go to that stadium. They got guys throwing money. Oh, I'll put my money in. Okay. Everybody wants to put money in until you got to write a check. I've learned this over the years. Everybody, especially when it comes to sports, everybody wants to put money in until it comes time to write the check. Then it's like, let me see the numbers. Oh, now you want to see the numbers. Okay.
Didn't care before.
Right. Yeah. No, we were all in before. Yeah. Oh, you want money? You want real money? Oh,
wait, my money? Like you want? I have to write? No. I was just going to go and campaign for money from other people.
Yeah,
not my money.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's all we're going to do on that today. Please save me the updates on the Brody Brazil stuff. It's enough. Rick says Brody Brazil just released a video of a bird and a bird feeder. Razor moving.
Oh, Brody Brazil. We got Brody Brazil on this.
They got Morgan and Morgan over there. You're talking about them. As far as I know, everything Morgan and Morgan gets behind loses. So,
yeah. Not a good track record.
Loser. That didn't go well. Legalized marijuana. I don't think that passed. Did it? I don't think it should have passed.
Not yet.
Anyway, so whatever. Done with you people. All right. Where do we want to start? We'll start with Longo. So he's coming back going to sign the old one-day contract. Going to come back and, play for the Rays. Going to throw out one more pitch. It was great. All-time leader in every significant offensive category. Home runs, 262. RBIs, 890 something. All the major categories. He rookie of the year in 2008 when we went to the World Series. Obviously a pivotal part of that. Huge hits in the playoffs. Early on, you knew this guy was special, really, really special, despite his first batting practice when he signed his contract at the Trop. And I think we went over there to cover this and signed a contract at the Trop, and they bring him down to the cage, to get a few swings in, so we can get our B-roll for News Channel 8. And he literally could not get the ball out of that infield. He could not get the ball. He was so nervous. All these cameras, and it was just he was telling the story. It's like it was so bad, and everybody's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" I thought he could hit. For God's sakes,
how much was that contract? He
did what? This is in 06, I guess. When I think Pinella was the manager. He probably, God damn it, we get to sign this guy? What the hell? Yeah, so it was an incredible career, and he was the stabilizing force for so many of those teams that went to the playoffs. And he was, with an organization that constantly recycled players to get younger players. Longo was the constant in the middle of the lineup. He's incredibly defensible. People forget he won 3 Gold Gloves. And he could pick it at third. That was one of my favorite parts of his games. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the great Brooks Robinson. Now, I'm not going to say he was Brooks Robinson. Don't get me wrong, but he could pick it. He could freaking pick it. He could throw it. He was one hell of a defensive player. A Silver Slugger, 3 Gold Gloves, 3 times top 10 MVP, 2 top 6 finishes. He was just quite simply the best Ray ever. And again, in the Rays way, we can't have nice things. As soon as we sign him to a big deal, we have to trade him. And that's what they did. Now, I'll say this, from a baseball standpoint, they weren't wrong. They traded him at the age of 31 was his last year in 2017 after he signed the $100 million deal. They traded him the next year. How Stu Sternberg of them, right? To the Giants. So he went his last year at 20 home runs, 86 RBIs, hit 261, OPS of 737. And then at his first year with the Giants, he hit 16 home runs, 54 RBIs. The next year, 20 home runs, 69 RBIs. So kind of the next 2 years were just kind of typical Longos, not great, but typical. And then it kind of fell off in 2020. He only had 209 at-bats. I think he got hurt that year. 2021, only 291 plate appearances that year, so half a season. Played 81 games, 13 home runs, 46 RBIs. I mean, not bad for half a season. And then 2022 with the Giants at the age 36, had 14 home runs, 42 RBIs, 298 plate appearances. So, just was what it was at that point. And 1 year with the Diamondbacks, we had 237 plate appearances. 2023 did not play last year, and now will officially retire. A lot of folks last year were saying, he's a free agent. Why don't we bring him back? I was like, we want to make room for Caminero. Do we really want to block Caminero at this point for 1 year of Longo? So I wasn't really on board with that train. But, I think it's what you think about it, the 10 years, and he was phenomenal. Yeah. Mount Rushmore of athletes in Tampa Bay. He's got to be on it. He's the Ray. He's up there. He's got to be on it. Would we have liked to seen him play his entire career here? Absolutely. But, after you sign him to a $100 million deal, he ain't staying here because we weren't going to pay that. Unfortunately. And listen, there are, teams all over baseball that sign guys to long-term deals knowing that the last 3 or 4 years of the deal, they're not going to be very productive, but they do it to keep continuity, keep fans engaged. It's just not something that Sternberg does. And a lot of fans don't like it. And that's been the Rays' way, unfortunately. And I think doesn't have to be that way. Just by the by. I'd like to see Junior Caminero play his entire career here, but we'd love to see that, but we know as long as this group's around, that's not going to happen. Doesn't mean it can't happen. If somebody else buys the team, they move it to Tampa, build a real stadium, and have the revenues that this market should have in the $400 to $500 million range. When you have actual premium seating in a real stadium, that's where the Rays should be. And if you have that kind of revenue, you should be able to have $160 to $200 million payroll and be a real baseball team. But unfortunately, this ownership group's never going to do that and can't do that. They've tried. Well, they've made attempts. Let's just put it that way.
They've attempted.
But on this day, it's all about Longo. And there's still tickets available on the Rays website for June 7th, by the way, if you want to get them. Most of the tickets are about $130 in the main.
Who's that
main
game
areas.
against?
The Marlins.
It is the Marlins. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird combination there.
Well, they want to make sure that they sell out a Marlins game because they won't sell out the other ones. That's for damn sure. But they might, they might. They've sold out almost every single game
against the Yankees, Yeah,
they've sold out almost every game, so that's good. All right. So, and then the Rays tonight, they may get Josh Lowe back. Tonight, which means who goes down? Is it people are saying it's Meisner or Simpson?
It's not going to be Simpson, is it?
Maybe. I mean, I would just get rid of Jankowski. I mean, I know he had the hit the other day, but he's not part of the future here. Why wouldn't you just get rid of him? I know he doesn't have any options left. Oh, we going to lose him?
I'd love to have him back here in Texas.
You can have him.
Part of that 23 World Series.
Yeah, I mean, he's not part of what we're doing moving forward.
He's not part of anybody's future.
Obviously, Chandler Simpson is.
Yeah.
I don't listen. I know. Maybe he hasn't played a lot in AAA. I don't care. He needs to learn how to play center field. So let him learn how to play it in the major leagues. Go to the parks in the major leagues, not in the AAA.
Right.
He needs to learn the angles, the walls, everything in the major leagues. Put him in the damn leadoff role, even against lefties, and just let him learn how to play. We're not going anywhere this season. Let's be honest. This is not a championship team. Now, can they make the playoffs? Sure. Maybe they can make the playoffs. This is not a championship team. Chandler Simpson is a part of your future. What did Buster Olney write, or one of the big said he's, one of the most interesting and dynamic weapons in the game. And that's before he even got called up. With this kind of game-breaking speed and his ability to put the bat on the ball, this guy could be a superstar. Why do we need to send him down to AAA? That makes no sense to me. He needs to learn, especially defensively at the major league level, the angles, the sight lines of these parks. You're not going to learn that at Durham. What's he going to learn? Maybe to hit a little bit better, get some more at-bats. Well, what do we got to see? Palacios? All these other guys? I don't care. Those guys do not have the upside that Chandler Simpson has. And that's what this season should be about. Finding guys that can play and can stick. And the other guys are going to be marginal major leaguers. They might help you win a game or two here. You're not going anywhere this year. This team's not like that. So I would be very, very upset if they sent Chandler Simpson down. I don't know. What do you think?
Man, I think once you brought him up this year, you had to be committed to keeping him. I don't mean the entire year, but longer than, a 20-game stretch.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
And I agree that you need to throw him out there in different positions against or in different situations against lefties and righties. He's hitting 260 right now. He's not the worst hitter on the team. He's one of the better hitters on the team right now, unfortunately. Right. You need to let him ride that. He's got a negative WAR, but just barely. And I don't think that has anything to do with him necessarily. I think that's a product of the team not hitting more than anything. But, yeah, I think you need to let him ride a wave here and let him, I don't want to say sink or swim, because if it looks like he's getting to a point where he's going to sink, I think you do need to send him down. You don't need to – and he doesn't seem like the kind of guy to me that's going to get a huge confidence hit, by striking out 7-8 times in a row. I don't think he's that kind of guy, but he needs to experience that. And I know he's super young, but he is the future. You need to let him be in just about whatever position, situation he can be in right now. And that's going to help him long-term, and it's going to help the team long-term. But I don't think there's any way you brought him up with the thought of him only playing 20 or 30 games this year and then sending him down.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not like he's a 20-year-old. He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
He's an older player. So I don't see any real need to throw. And again, I would play him against left-handed pitching too. Hey man, start laying down bunts. If you don't feel comfortable against a pitcher, let's work that drag bunt as a weapon. Let's just start developing your game at a major league level. I don't see I don't see anything positive about sending him down. I mean, for Jankowski,
there's lots of other guys who are well more deserving than him to be sent down. So take your pick.
Meisner, and the other part is Josh Lowe coming up. When does he come up? If he comes up against the Blue Jays tonight, there's talk of him coming up. All right. It's just so frustrating to see a guy of his talent level just continue to not play. It's just like it was day one, the oblique, like day one at bat one. Just like, Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because,
with 2 at bats all year.
Second at bat.
The first 2.
Like, are you kidding me? That's just unbelievable.
Hey, but the good news is he's batting 500.
Yeah. Leading the team. But that 23 season was just so tantalizing. He was top 10 player in baseball. Like, you're like, wow, this guy's going to be something. He's going to be real. You would hope that a guy comes up and puts up those numbers. Let's revisit some of those numbers, shall we?
By the way, Jankowski's hitting 320, right?
How many at-bats is it?
25.
That's great. We'll send Meisner down. I don't have a problem with that. But don't send Chandler Simpson down. That's just I am not. And by the way, not that this matters at all, but he's one of the few players where you're like, ooh, I want to see this at bat.
Yeah,
I want to see what he does. It is entertainment, right? It is supposed to be entertainment.
Putting butts in the seats, he's going to do it.
And this is like the most boring team in the history of teams to watch. I mean, especially against left-handers, like they can't hit. Like I don't care. Go up against a left-hander and bunt every freaking time. It's more exciting than watching the rest of the team strike out. Watching Curtis Meade strike out 4 times in the game. Really not interested in that. Yeah. His numbers in 3.7 WAR in 2023. This is 25 years old. 500 plate appearances, 20 home runs, 83 RBIs, 32 steals. Only caught 3 times.
Yeah.
124 strikeouts, not great, but 292. He hit 292/292, 335, 500, 835 OPS. I mean, as a 25-year-old, just dripping with freaking talent. One of the best years any Rays ever had, frankly. And then 26 injuries, 106 games this year. 1 game, 2 plate appearances, 1 hit. Come on, Josh Lowe. Come on, Josh Lowe. You can do this. I mean, get in this park. If this guy can just stay healthy in this park and just elevate the ball, God, Lord, you could have a huge year. But you don't even if he comes back, maybe you just, I don't know, just frustrating.
Are you putting him in right field when he comes back?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to put him in right field when he comes back?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, imagine Josh Lowe, Chandler Simpson in center, Josh Lowe as a power hitting, and then let's go get a left fielder. Because, I'm thinking Chris Morel's pretty much not going to be the guy.
Tired of Morel, huh?
Probably not going to be the guy. Let's trade a pitcher for a left-hand, for a right-handed power hitting left fielder. Let's see if we can find one.
We'll move Meisner over to left.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, but I'd like to see some power. Let's trade Meisner, a pitcher. It's, go get a guy who actually makes money, a professional hitter to play left field.
Professional baseball player.
What a concept that would be. So anyway, that's our Rays stuff for today. We're going to get into the Bucs here in just a second. Schedule release, leaks, and the new players who are kind of interesting that they signed. I don't think, are they going to be players? Who knows?
You don't know, but man, there is a ton of experience.
I also have on the docket today to rag on the Saints. The Saints are just, it's such disarray. How about
funny? When we talk, I got something funny about Derek Carr. So we'll talk about
that. Schedule release, we'll do that. How do you feel about Bucs and Rams on Thanksgiving?
That'd be the nightcap, right? They'd be the late game, apparently.
If it's true, that'd be interesting. I'd like to see that. Don't know if that's true. Danny Boy Kane, good morning to you. Say good morning, gentlemen. Read a report that it would be Bucs at Rams on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of that.
Trust what you can read. Yeah. Nathan's he loves my Starburst. My Stew Burst. My Stew Burst. Yeah. Well, he did pay for this shirt.
Well, there you go.
When
Don't say he never gave you nothing.
When we went to Havana, I don't know how they picked me to be part of that crew. So I went with the Rays to Havana. Stu, I'm sure dreads the idea. Whose idea was that? Actually had a nice cup of coffee with Stu, little Cuban coffee with him and his wife at the hotel. It was lovely. Lovely. I've always said this. And personally, I have nothing against Stu Sternberg. Absolutely nothing. Even though tried to get me fired twice. Got me fired once.
It's not personal, JP.
Allegedly. Just the way he runs it. G-Man Choi's making more in the Korean military than Longo got from the Rays.
It's true.
It is such a Rays thing to do, though. Whoa, we're going to sign him to a $100 million contract. We're not trade him.
Trade him, hurry.
Yeah.
We got to write a check.
Or we got to pay him. Yeah. There are no signing bonuses. How you feel Vikings back-to-back games in different country? Yeah, do you see we'll get into the international games. That's interesting.
Weird. That's I don't know why they would agree to that.
This is true. You talk about schedule release. Richie P said this. The Bucs schedule release video was Selman narrating and Mike Allstott getting an emotional testament about what it means to be a Buck has to be one of the best. That was freaking awesome. I think, was that last year or 2 years ago? That was outstanding. And then they had all the old paraphernalia.
Yeah.
And the old pictures and the old film. Oh, that was so well done. Wait till you see the 50th documentary.
That's going to be great.
Ooh, yeah, I've seen a little trailer on that.
What part did you play in it?
Shut up.
Figured you'd be in it.
So did I.
Maybe Stu had something to do with that too.
Sorry, I already put that up. Richie says, you know what? At this point, split the difference and put the stadium in Auburndale. Some defunct Orange Grove. Yes, since Manfred said, Stu, what's your plan? Have we heard the plan? No, we have not. Just things are going on. Things are happening.
He's 0 for 4, JP.
Danny Boy said, I'll give you a break on that one day today, JP. That's it. That's all I get. I didn't get a break. Somebody already put it in here. I think when Manfred came to Florida and met with the governor, it was the Orlando deal. Yeah, Mike, I don't think so.
No.
In fact, I know it's not. And 100%. I know it's not. I know what they talked about, and it was Tampa Bay. And I know where the meeting was. And I know who was there. And it wasn't about Orlando.
Was Mickey Mouse there? Then it probably wasn't about Orlando.
No, Stu was not there. Again. Mike H says Longoria was my favorite. Have his jersey. Ah, man, he was awesome. He was so good. And remember, that's when we had professional. He was a professional hitter. Runners in scoring position, professional hitters. I went to 2 games of the World Series against the Phillies. Yeah, I took my kids to one of the games. That was awesome. Only World Series game I've been to as a fan. It was great.
Huh, okay.
That was really cool. Yes, Mike Jankowski. Yes. Who would you rather have, Jankowski or Chandler Simpson? Who's the future of this team? Come on.
Well, it's not Jankowski. We know that.
Yeah. Daniel Rivera says the Rays play better on the road than they do at home. Maybe they have another winning trip here. Yeah. And again, Rogers Center or Rogers, whatever the hell they call this, where the Blue Jays play now, right? Rogers
Sky Dome.
Rogers
Center. It's always Sky Dome to me.
And wasn't it Rogers something?
It's Rogers Center now.
Rogers Center. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, the greatest thing that ever happened in that place was time that, the hotel shades were open.
Right. And everybody got to see.
That was great.
By the way, JP, it occurs to me, I've been to more Rays World Series games than you have.
Yes, you probably have.
Because I went to all of them here in 2020.
You rat bastard.
That's crazy. Huh.
You got to witness one of the great top 5 moments in Rays history.
What, in Game 6?
The run where Brett, what's his name? Oh my God, I forgot his name. We stumbled into home.
Oh, yeah.
That was the greatest play in Rays history. I mean, Longo's home run in 160 was pretty good.
Right.
But that was to win a World Series game. That was pretty damn good. We had
funny.
Yeah. By the way, you got the call of the Longo one. We haven't played that yet. Let's go ahead and play that.
So I got a couple of them. I got the TV one that's kind of short. And then I think I have the DAE broadcast that's a little bit longer because they go through it. So let's just play the TV one that's a little bit shorter here.
Yeah.
2-2 and a line shot down the left field line. That ball is gone, and the Rays win it. A line drive home run by Evan Longoria, and the Rays storm the field. It's an 8-7 final on Longoria's second home run of the night, and moments after, Baltimore comes back to beat the Red Sox. The Rays win it on the home run by Longoria, and there's some celebrating going on here. How about that for a finish?
You have. I love the frantic. I love the frantic shuffling to get all of the locker room ready at the last second for them to come in and celebrate. Right, like they're
crap. We got to get the champagne out. Yes,
we got to hang the Starburst up.
Yes. Yeah, because the other game was rain delayed. It started before the Rays, and then it got rain delayed. And then 3 minutes before they show the score goes up in the trop, everybody cheers as I think it was Boston won 4-3 or lost
4-3. Yeah. Baltimore came back.
Yeah. And so then, and it was like, that was for Baltimore to come back in that game was unbelievable. And then the Rays, they tied it late. Dan Johnson, one of the biggest hits in the history of the Rays, ties the game in the bottom of the ninth to send it into extras with a home run. Dan Johnson, of all people, the only hit he ever had. Like, unbelievable.
At least the one that you remember.
Yeah, unbelievable. And it gets wiped away by Longo. So everybody forgets about Dan Johnson. But that was, I think Bobby Thompson is the only other player in the history that shot heard around the world to get a home, to walk it off, to send a team to the playoffs. How about that? The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant.
Because I am a sucker for radio broadcasts, way better than TV. I thought we'd break out the WDAE version.
All right,
of this.
let's hear that one too.
Video on it.
Oh, we get to hear Dave and Andy. Hey, rest in peace. No, that's Dwayne too. That's the same one.
Oh, is it? Oh,
same call, yeah.
Oh, you're right. It is. I don't know. I guess I meant to download the other one. All right, screw me.
Or did you just hit the wrong one?
No, I'd already played the other. I don't know.
All right, we'll try to find the other one.
I suck.
All right, we'll take our first break. We'll come back on the other side. TJ Reese, by the way, is going to join us. Speaking of a man who knows his Tampa Bay history, he will join us at 11:15. By the way, Longo will be going into Tampa Sports Club Hall of Fame, if I didn't mention that 3 nights earlier. I'll be emceeing that. That's going to be a big night. We'll tell you more about that coming up. We got Bucs stuff to get to, schedule release. Incredible night in the NBA. The hockey was amazing. We're going to rip on the Saints. Panthers owner gets suspended. Tons of cool stuff coming up. Jeeves Law Group is one of our great sponsors here. We are in the Jeeves Law Group studio today. JEEVESLawgroup.com. If you've been in an accident, get your butt onto the website. Email them, call them, make sure you make an appointment so they can set up everything, get your medical care taken care of, all that stuff. They'll do it all for you. JeevesLawGroup.com. They're local, they're trusted, and they get results. Non-attorney spokesman, offices Tampa St. Pete. Back in 3.
Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. Love those folks over there. Go get some of the prime rib sandwich. You know that's my favorite over there. But the buffalo chicken dip at happy hour is incredible. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Do it. Listening to live coverage of JP turning his hat around, IndyCar Tim style.
Just cannot.
There it is.
Bugging the crap out of me. I'm backwards hat today, Colin Coward. Suck it.
He looks like an idiot, though.
But me right now?
No, Colin Coward.
Wearing a backwards hat and a polo is a little dicey, but it's better. It was just bugging.
It's very SMU-ish, as we would say here in Dallas on the hilltop.
So douchey. Okay, great. Thank you. Whatever.
Very SMU.
God. All right. So, very Dan Quinn of me. Yeah, why not?
Oh my gosh! Right, with the glasses and everything.
Love Dan Quinn.
I'll join you.
Old guys wearing backwards hat. Yeah, you get it all on this show, baby. We don't care. I got a starburst, I got a stew burst, and a backwards hat rolling today. That alone is worth the price of admission, you people.
By the way, do you see this?
You got off my Riveters live read, by the way.
Little situation right
Oh
here.
my God. She scratched you?
No, I got punched last night.
Oh, you got punched last night. All right, let me finish the Riveters live read.
Please.
Where you will not get punched. Well, maybe.
I probably
You won't get punched by the staff. I can tell you that. Staff is freaking awesome over there. Go see the great staff at Riveters. I love that. When you go in there, go to the bar, they see you right away. They come up to you. That's not the case at most South Tampa places. I can tell you that. So get in there, enjoy the great food. The happy hour is fantastic. No freezers except for the ice cream, and fantastic food. The burgers are unbelievable. The wings. Oh my God, the wings. Oh, I'm fasting this morning, and doing this Riveters read is killing me. Wings. Oh my Lord, are so good. They do all the sauces by hand. So it's like the blue cheese. Like that makes a difference when you make fresh blue cheese dressing. I'm not going to make it through the show. I'm starving.
I was just thinking about a Philly cheesesteak for lunch. Now you're switching me over to wings. I don't know what to do here.
I might go to Riveters and do both.
Oh, get the wings appetizer and then wash it down with a Philly cheesesteak. By the way, can we call it something other than a Philly cheesesteak? Because that makes me gag.
A Riveters cheesesteak. How about that?
That's fine. That's perfect.
Riveters cheesesteak. Yeah, because we hate everything Philly.
God, it's so disgusting.
Just about everything. Except Sal Pal.
Love you, Sal Pal.
Yeah, so go to Riveters. We love them over there. Yes, it was Brett Phillips. Brett, that's the call you ought to get. The Brett Phillips call of that.
I think I might have found this. I think it was later in that other video, maybe.
And then the Brett Phillips. I don't
swing a line drive down the left field line towards the corner.
There it is.
It's gone.
Eddie
It's
Freed.
gone. Evan Longoria has just hit the Rays to the American League wild card.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
The Rays are out of the dugout, And the roof of Tropicana Field's going to blow off.
Wow, he's predicted something there, didn't he?
Tampa Bay Rays.
He did. Oh my God. Oh my God.
American League wild card for the first time.
Crazy
They
prediction.
can celebrate now all across Tampa Bay. Cameras and flash bulbs and people around Tropicana Field absolutely and utterly beside themselves. The home run
That was a
hook
great
down
call.
the left field line at the 3:15 sign, and the Rays win this thing 8-7. And Dave, one of the most remarkable nights in Major League Baseball history across the country.
Let it roll. Is there more?
That was it.
That was it. Oh, God, I want to hear
That was the
Dave
end of
Wells. May he rest in peace. It was awesome. That was a great call by Andy Freed. That was fantastic in the moment. He really nailed that.
Totally predicted it, too.
The roof's going to blow off.
Tropicana Field.
Like a Family Guy episode. The Simpsons. Yeah, you're right. 20 years later, it blew off.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think I've heard somebody say that it would only be a home run in our park at that trajectory
it was like
level.
319, right? Like,
yeah, and
the
it
wall-
was so low, and it was so
Yeah.
low, and that cutout allowed it to be a home run.
Yeah, the Rangers had one of those in the old ballpark that's still there, by the way, next to the new ballpark.
Yeah,
We have two. But it's that little triangle cutout over there, and it was in right field, though. But it's the same. It's like 317 down the line. You know, and you hit the right line drive.
yeah.
Home run every time.
What a day! That's it. Just and I'll tell you what. As much as I hate the Trop, when it was full for playoffs and games like that, man, it had a vibe. It was hell to get in and hell to get out. Couldn't get a beer, none of that stuff. It's just an awful stadium. But just the fact that when it was full, it was loud.
Yeah.
Oh, it was loud. It was really an atmosphere. I'll miss that about the Trop. I will miss that about the Trop, but nothing else.
No, and like to me, again, I've experienced both indoor and outdoor, loud crowds, postseason play. It just sounds better outside. You still get
Of
the
course
loud
it does.
crowd. It just
Yeah.
sounds better. Stand by that till the day I die.
Rick says, awesome that Longo's coming back. However, Stu is charging him to sit in the friends and family section. Rick, you were on one today.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt
I love
it,
it.
right?
Scotty Fitz is in, says, can't wait to hear Gerber's picks this week. Had a hot week.
He'll be here tomorrow. Yeah. Oh man, just missing out on Shane Lowry, who fell apart in the last 3 holes.
What the hell happened to you, Shane Lowry? What was the issue you had with the golf tournament this week?
Did you see the trophy?
No.
All right, give me a second because I got to put this on screen for you.
All right.
Rick
says
look, and
there's
I don't
no
have a problem with Sepp Straka at all. I love Sepp. But just wait till you see this. Because it is
Straka gets strep throat.
he gets Sepp throat.
Sep throat. Rick says there's no such thing as a free shirt from Stu, JP. He gave you the Stu burst later. Hey now. It's personal. Don't get personal.
He's a good guy.
Great. No. John Hill said, let's have a wiffle ball game with JP captain team versus Tim captain team.
All right, I'm in, man.
No,
Love
I
me
think
some
we should
wiffle
have
ball.
we should have our team against somebody else's, like a DAE team.
Against Evan Longoria's team.
Yeah. Oh, I could get some sluggers.
There you go.
I could get some sluggers.
Here's the trophy. Here's Sepp Straka after the Truist Championship at the Philly Cricket Club. By the way, the Cricket Club, not the golf club, the Cricket Club, where they played the Truist Championship in Philadelphia. This is his trophy, JP.
Mr. Tolles used to hit me with that in 7th grade.
Do you know what that is?
And it had holes in it for wind effect. I know exactly what that is.
That is
Hurt
called
like hell.
That is called a cricket bat.
No, it's not. It's called a paddle.
Well, exactly. That's what you and I know it as. But 180 years ago, it was a cricket bat. That's what they played cricket with. I guess they still do, if it's still a thing.
Put that picture up. My ass started hurting.
That's Jesus. Well, it's got to have holes in it. Yeah, right? Like mine in middle school had holes, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it had to be aerodynamic.
They decided, first of all, the PGA Tour decided to play a tournament at a cricket club known for cricket in the 1850s in Philadelphia. All right. There's so many red flags here. Second of all, you're going to honor the idiots from England who founded the cricket club in 1854 by making your golf trophy a cricket bat. The hell is wrong with people?
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
God, I went off on a rant yesterday on From the Rough. You guys go check that out.
You know what that is, though? That's just, they wanting to be, different. Just honor something that shows some culture. Yeah. Instead of
leave it to Philadelphia to screw up something good in golf.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
God almighty. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah. Now, baseball derived from cricket, not golf.
Right. Because we made it better.
Right.
But yeah, go have a cricket bat, or I call it a cricket club, the cricket bat club thing as a baseball trophy, because that's more closely related to cricket.
Yeah.
Not golf. Anyway, there's my rant. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Somebody said Ben Rortfit's hitting 089. Said even can Longoria catch? He can hit better than 089. How the hell is this guy still in the major leagues? Like, seriously. We're 3 months into the season and you're batting 089. I don't give a shit if you're a backup catcher. You can't be in the big leagues with an 089 average. You can't. Like, that's not a thing.
I mean, I feel like if any position is going to be in the big leagues at 087, it's catcher, right? Especially
but that's not a thing. I'm sorry. You can't find anybody that can catch, that can hit better than that. Are you effing kidding me?
I'll find your backup infielder. Your backup first baseman could probably catch and do better than that.
Like, there's probably guys on this team, pitchers, that can hit better than him. So why don't you DH for him? I guarantee you Shane Baz can hit better than that guy. I guarantee it.
We'll never see the double switch.
How embarrassing would it be? How embarrassing would it be? I don't even think you can do it. I think they've outlawed it. But how embarrassing would it be if, like, you're the catcher and the pitcher, it bats instead of you in the lineup?
Gets a hit.
Well, just bat. Like,
just the look, right? Like on the scorecard.
I guarantee you Zach Littell can hit better than Ben Rortfit. Zach Littell's a badass. Like, just from effort and just athleticism alone, I guarantee half of maybe all of our starting staff could be better. Like, what if like Littell went to the manager and like went Skip and said, "Hey, does Rortfit have to bat? Can I bat instead of him? Can I mean, seriously, like, how embarrassing would that be? Like, and in a 9-hole, Zach Littell. Wait, there's no Rortfit?
It's on his day off. He's not even pitching. He just hit.
Shane Baz is in the 8-hole.
He's DH on his day off. I mean, Ohtani could do that.
Yeah.
How about Ohtani DHing on his days off? We're playing the position. Who cares?
Well, just like he would bat as a pitcher, You'd have a DH, but you'd have the pitcher in instead of the catcher. You'd be DHing for the catcher.
That would look great on the scorecard too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
People 100 years from now would be like, "What was that?"
I'm going to do some research and see, like, the last time any of these guys hit, how good they were.
Yeah,
I guarantee you they were
career high seasons. And we need to know career high seasons for all these guys.
Like, most of the younger guys probably don't have any at bats, but there's probably a few older pitchers, if we have any older pitchers. Littell might be one of them that played in the National League. And see if they got any batting stats. And I guarantee you they're better than Rortfit at 089.
I'm probably better than Rortfit.
Who's not? Like, right?
I mean, that's the low mark on the team for sure, right? 087, 089.
Well, yeah, you never know. Let me double check. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go over to the Bucs. Moira Ritter says, sounds like JP knows the inside on the Bucs-Rams game. I don't. There was a couple of years ago there where I actually got the entire Bucs schedule sent to me before it was released, and it was right. I did a little bit with Tally, the Wonder Dog, like sitting on the porch. I'm like, oh, Tally brought me something and did a video. I should try to find that. I think it's on my old Twitter though. And she brings me the little, I open it up like, oh, Tally brought me the NFL schedule, the Bucs schedule. And whoever leaked it to me was spot on. Now I got one the next year that wasn't spot on, but the first one was spot on.
We're not talking about that one, though.
But I told everybody, I said, I don't know if this is right, but I got last year's was right. This one may not be, and it wasn't. So it was a proper attribution there. So, yeah, let's get to some of the schedule leaks. Have you been to scheduleleaks.com or N25? There's a Twitter 22 and 2025 NFL schedule leaks. And it says the pinned one from April says Thanksgiving Day schedule, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Lions at 1 o'clock on CBS, 4:30 Cardinals at Cowboys, and then the 8:20 game was Rams at Titans, not the Bucs. That's
Bucs,
from
yeah.
2025 schedule leaks. So
You don't know who to believe with these things, though.
you don't. That's the thing. But there are some that are already out, right? There's the international schedule out. Sure, many of you have seen those,
Right.
So we've got a few of them. This is no, that one's not good. So do you have the international games? I thought I had that.
Yeah, I think I did. Hang on. I did at one point. Anyway.
So so the first game is Eagles take on the Commanders, week 16, Fox Sports. Can't miss doubleheader. Eagles take on the Commanders, followed by Packers and the Bears. That's December 20th on Fox.
Okay.
Bears, Eagles, Black Friday.
Do we need
the Black Friday game on Prime Video on Amazon? That's how funny is that? Yeah. The Bears are going to be a very interesting team this year.
Why do you think
we're
so?
certainly going to find out if Caleb Williams can play with all the freaking weapons he's got. Holy shiz bang. And of course we got
if Ben Johnson can coach. That's a wild card.
How do you feel about the Cowboys going to get their ass kicked in Philadelphia to open the season?
Dude, that's going to be so – that's in Philly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be so ugly.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we'll get to see a little bit about, kind of like Chicago, we'll get to see what Brian Schottenheimer's got in his offensive arsenal.
Yep. See George Pickens beat up CD Lamb or vice versa?
Yeah, and is it still a 15-yard penalty if it's your teammate?
I haven't gotten any clue. Every year the NFL referees come in and they do their little clinic on the new stuff, and then they open it up for questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit them with that this year. Like if two players fought each other on the same team, would there be a penalty? Could there be two 15-yard infractions?
That's so great.
Christmas Day is Broncos versus Chiefs. That should be a good one. The Broncos could be really good this year. They certainly were good against the Bucs. So that's 8 o'clock on Christmas. We saw that one, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have any other schedule leaks? I think that by the way, the Bucs will they're probably not open at home because the Rays have a game that Sunday. So I mean,
yeah, you got to watch that.
That's not a definite, but they opened at home last year. So I would say probably the Bucs will be on the road to start the season.
Kind of along those lines, JP, I did find something interesting on the X machine, as you often do. DraftKings posted this thing about ChatGPT predicting the next 50 Super Bowls.
Right.
Did you see this? Did you
No,
analyze this at all?
I did not.
Well, bad news for the Bucs, if you're a Bucs fan, because out of the next 50 Super Bowls, so from 2026 through 2075, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win one Super Bowl, and that will be in 2042.
Ooh.
I think Baker's going to be gone by then.
It's this thing, So who's going to win the most? Oh, this is it?
So, yeah, it's kind of small. I apologize. But the most interesting things here that you notice is in 2039, a team named the Archers. There's no city designation on it, so I don't know who the Archers are. But they're going to win 3 in the next 50 years.
The Archers?
Yeah. In 2039, they win their first as a new franchise. And then you have the San Antonio Spurs winning a Super Bowl in 2043. Don't know if that's the basketball team or an expansion football team. You have in 2048 the Toronto Huskies winning
Look at
the
that.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In 2051, you have the Mexico City Aztecs winning a Super Bowl. And then, JP, in 2056, you have the first of two non-American-based teams winning a Super Bowl with the London Royals in 2056 and the Paris Revolutionaries in 2063.
Who's in 2060? The Invaders? Who's in 2060?
The Oakland Invaders. The Oakland's
Oakland
expansion
Invaders.
team, apparently. Yeah.
Oakland Invaders.
And then you have the mysterious Archers winning 2 and 4 years in 2070 and 2073 with the Spurs in there in between. But you
Archers.
I don't know what city that is.
Expansion team, the Archers.
Chat GPT, but considerably, notably missing from this entire list over the next 50 years, JP. The Cleveland Browns will enter 2076 having still never won a Super Bowl.
That's interesting fodder there.
And the Steelers would just won in 2049. So, I mean, obviously some first-time winners here. The Lions will get one in 2031.
The Bills got one in 2030.
Yep, the Jets finally in 2035.
The Jets won one. They've already won one.
That's true. Yeah. The Jags. Sorry, Super Bowl III. Sorry, Joe. The Jags in 2041 will get there first. Falcons in 2044. Texans in 2045. Panthers in 2040. Look, we have a string of 5 years with the Spurs, Falcons, Texans. It's 6 years. Panthers, Chargers, and Toronto Huskies all winning Super Bowls for the first time.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. So, and then the Chiefs will have one in 2028 and not again until 2050.
My experience is ChatGPT is wrong a lot.
I just thought it was interesting, though.
Oh, it is. It's fun. That was really fun.
We've never heard of.
What city would be the Archers, though? Would there be some type of alliteration there? Would it be?
I wonder if that's
the Arizona Cardinals will lose their team again, and it will be the Arizona Archers
as an expansion team.
And
Archers, I don't know.
Arlington Archers. Well, that's they renamed Dallas. What other A team? Abilene. Another big A city begins with A.
Akron.
It could be. Oh yeah. Well, that's.
I'm trying to figure out what team is or what city is associated with archery. I mean, it could almost be an overseas team, right? At that point,
yeah, it could be. Yeah,
international teams.
Yeah, interesting.
Huh.
All right. What else did we want? Oh, Bucs wise. So the Bucs signed Nick Jackson, who played the most games in college football ever, 73 games for University of Virginia. Was his last team. Second most tackles in the history of college football.
He played 4 years at Virginia, 2 years at Iowa.
Okay. Didn't he play 7 total seasons?
I just saw 6.
Okay. So, yeah, second most tackles in the history of college football.
555 tackles.
That's an entire NFL career.
Do you know who leads? By the way, I had to go look it up because I know
Kuechly was third.
Kuechly is third. A guy named Carlton Marshall has 577 at Troy from 2018 to 2022.
Oh, well, so he played 5 years or 4 years. Only
Marshall did, yeah.
That's pretty cool. By the way, I got a couple of pieces of sound I wanted to play also from.
Well, I wanted to talk about the other player real quick too that they signed. The very awkwardly named Dvon DVON, and then J-Thomas. I have no idea how that's going to look on a jersey.
Thomas,
Javon J-Thomas. It's all hyphenated, so I'm not sure how you go into that. He had 6 years of college football, all at Penn State. He appeared in 61 games with 98 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 14 for loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 2.5 sacks. He was an integral part of the team making the college football playoff. And I remember watching him play, and I thought for sure this guy was going to get drafted somewhere. And so I don't know what his workout numbers were, the pre-draft. So he must just not have impressed anybody at all, right, in his interviews and stuff, and pre-draft workouts and stuff. But man, I think both of these guys could be catches for Jason Light and the team. Like, I'm kind of excited to see what these guys do in camp this summer.
Well, yeah. I mean, inside linebacker with that kind of tackle numbers and instincts. Yeah. I mean, he definitely could get a practice squad here, or maybe in place a game. Who knows?
Yeah. And again, we talk about experience, bringing experience from college to the pros. Obviously the skill positions, it matters. I think it matters in the trenches too. I mean, both of these guys have a ton of experience. So there you go.
Yeah. So the Vikings will play an international doubleheader. They'll play first time ever. Vikings will play the Steelers on September 28th at Croke Park in Dublin. That's going to be crazy. I've been to that stadium. It's nuts. It's not where where FSU played. Croke Park's much bigger in Dublin. And then the Vikings will travel to England, where they will face the Cleveland Browns at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on October 5th. So they'll be over in Europe for 2 weeks. Yeah.
And they're not the first team to do that. Somebody did it last year. Was it the
Jaguars? The Jaguars?
It must have been the Jags. Jags or Titans.
Yeah.
Or the Patriots. Maybe because I know the Patriots played over there. I'm not sure. But yeah, but I can't imagine.
No, it says Vikings will be the first team in NFL history to play consecutive international games in different countries. Oh, different countries.
Oh, different countries. That's what it was.
Okay. All right. That only. But I mean, Ireland and England, different countries. I mean,
it's the same state. Like if you're in Texas, right?
Flight. Yeah,
Texas is bigger than both of those countries.
I think you're right. Yeah, it'd be a longer travel to from Tampa to Miami than it would be London to Dublin. Crazy.
But I don't understand the Vikings ownership. And I guess, are both of those going to be road games for them, or are they giving up a home game for that?
Well, they're probably giving up a home. There'd be a home and a road, probably.
Yeah, that's what you would think. But that's why Jerry won't play. That's why Jerry Jones won't let Dallas play overseas. Because they want it to be a home game for Dallas, and I'm not giving up a home game at AT&T Stadium to go overseas and play in front of a bunch of people that we don't know.
Well, why does he get to decide that?
Because he's Jerry Jones.
Yeah, well, that's not cool. I mean, so he just decides we're not going.
Yeah. I mean, I think the team has to agree to do it. They can say no.
I don't know about that.
Unless they're the Jaguars.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The Falcons will play the Colts, in Germany, November 9th. The Dolphins will play the Commanders November 16th in Madrid. So that's your international schedule there.
Yep. Does that do anything?
Chargers.
Does that do anything for you?
What's that?
The international schedule, like them playing.
No, I don't like
other than them being on at 9:00 in the morning local time or 10 in the morning Eastern time.
Totally screws up all your fantasy stuff. And no, I get it, I understand it, but I don't like it. I'd just rather they stay here. Especially season ticket holders. There's a lot of money invested. I know they don't have to pay for that ticket. I get it, but you pay your season ticket holder. You want to see your games,
and it also forces us into one of the most awkward and unnecessary football occurrences on TV that's shoved down our throat every single year during an international game. And I love him to death as a broadcaster, as a TV guy. But Rich Eisen has to be one of the absolute worst play-by-play guys I've ever heard in my entire life. And they throw Rich Eisen out there to do an international game every year. And
I like Rich Eisen. I like him.
No, I love Rich Eisen. I just think he is terrible.
I think he's fine. I remember listening last year, and I'm like, you know what? He's better than some of the other guys I hear.
No way.
I think he is. I think he adds a little bit of levity to the situation because he got a great sense of humor. I will disagree with you on this. I'll disagree with you.
All right. Well, we disagree a lot. Might have to roll tape on it this year so I can get some examples for you.
All right. Before we leave, I have to get this in. We have a total bromance between Evan Klosky and Brody Bazile. JP, jump in for the threesome. No, thank you.
As long as we get video, we're good.
Like people are like, oh, like, am I supposed to be jealous? Hey, listen, I did a hit on Fox 35 Orlando today. All right, so screw all you people. So just go to Fox 35 Orlando and you see my face on there today, coming to you live.
Did you tell all those Orlando folks they ain't effing leaving?
Well, actually, we're going to do another spot on that maybe next week or a week after, but they just want to do something on Longo. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And I said, do you want to do any stadium stuff? I'll be happy to do it. And she's like, no.
Probably not.
Some dude showing up on Orlando TV going, hey, you got nothing.
Dreamers my ass.
You got a bunch of pictures of Bianchi columns. Some rich guys there. Oh, by the team. Oh.
It'd be so great.
He's like, yeah, we're good. We're good. We don't need you.
Oh, that'd be so. Hey, I'll record it and I'll send it to you guys. You can play it whenever you want. So great.
Oh God. Yeah. No, we're good. We're good with you talking about. Don't come on here and make sense and stuff. Don't be doing that.
Poor Orlando.
Just let us have our moment, will you? Come on. I could tease that 3 separate segments in my newscast and keep these suckers around. Get me a 0.1 rating.
Why can't Orlando just be happy with their overpriced parks?
God, and are they overpriced? Holy
my
shit,
God.
bang. Yeah, there was a viral video this weekend of some just a regular dad saying, I took my family to Disney today. It cost me $1,300.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Like that's it. That's what it costs.
Yeah, they interviewed him on Fox News after that because the video went viral. He's like, this wasn't even planned. He said we had some friends that were going, so last minute we were like, yeah, let's go with them. $1,300 later.
Yeah.
For a family of 4.
1 day,
including parking.
Yeah.
Which was like ridiculous. $50.
It's ridiculous. I mean, and Disney's still losing money.
They're doing it wrong.
Well, the parks aren't losing money. The parks make money.
Yeah.
Joseph, go back to the beginning of the show. First segment, we did some stuff on the stadium. We're not repeating it today. No, great. No new news, but that's actually good news. Oh, there's a little tease.
No news is
all
good news.
We'll take a break. When we come back, TJ Reeves is going to join us. We're going to talk about all things local sports, not just Bucs. Bucs sideline guy TJ Reeves will be joining us, and all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, we're going to get to the Saints. Maybe we'll talk some Saints with him. We got to get to all the teams last night that could have evened up 2-2, lost. So all those series, basketball and hockey, 3-1. How about that? Yeah. All right, back in 3. Stay with us. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. You know, we told you about the amazing Diamond Savings Account where your diamond never loses its value. Well, now, through the end of May, the Gold and Diamond Source will double your trade-in value up to $2,500. Just bring in your jewelry to trade and your $2,500 piece turns into $5,000. It's time to upgrade that ring, earrings, whatever. We have gemologists on site to make the deal. Double your trade value up to $2,500. Gets you $5,000 to spend. So go through your jewelry box and get that stuff you never wear and get something new and stylish that you're going to love. Great experience, and we will double your trade-in now till the end of May. We can finance you as well. No interest for 5 years. Only at the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. Hey, Tampa Bay, it's time to get your AC unit ready for summer. And here at Third Generation Plumbing and Mechanical, we recommend getting ahead of the game, keeping your family cool before the hot summer months with one of our maintenance agreements in the hopes of avoiding the dreaded emergency service call. Our maintenance agreements include, we'll test the electrical components, check and tighten high and low voltage wire connections. We'll check the refrigerant for manufacturer's performance levels, test thermostats, calibrate if needed, clean the evaporator coil and condenser coil, and clear and treat the drain line and drain pans. Just call us at 813-961-8024 for the special rates, and a human will actually answer. 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at OnSiteConstructionFL.com. If you're going to restore your home, maybe you hired a contractor that was less than superlative to do your hurricane repairs, and now you need more stuff done. OnSite Construction Florida FL.com. That's the way to go. Jason Fawcett and his entire group over there, over 40 trusted, experienced artisans. Not just construction workers. These people know what they're doing, and they do it the right way, on time, on budget. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Go to their website. Really cool website. See all their work there and get some ideas. And they'll do a free meeting with you to come in and talk about. They'll show you all the pictures. Like, this is what we can do. This is where we do it. It's really fun. So if you're into self-improvement and home improvement, OnSiteConstructionFL.com. All right, let's welcome in our good friend, the Bucs sideline guy, TJ Reeves. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Always good to be with you, gentlemen. We have much to go over from the NFL schedule.
Yes.
I am
got any Bucs leaks?
I don't know. Stand by for that. Timmy, I am somewhat disappointed you're not in the Mavericks Cooper Flag jersey. I know they got to have him out by now.
Look, as I noted on X this morning, with all of these idiots saying, "Look, Cooper," they're already posting pictures of him in Mavericks uniforms.
Right.
We haven't even had the draft yet. How do you know that's who they're picking?
It's gonna be Cooper Flag. Let me break the news to you. It's gonna be him, and it's not gonna be a bad thing. So we'll talk more about that in a little bit.
But they're gonna trade the pick to the Bucs,
the Lakers,
for Giannis.
Right.
But do you believe?
Go ahead and give it to the Lakers. Go ahead and give it to the Lakers. Do
you believe that, why would they trade Luka? Well, because they knew they were getting Cooper Flag. Because the NBA said, what? We need Luka in LA.
I enjoy a good conspiracy as much as anybody, but it is definitely become routine how these things continue to work out in alignment of, give the Lakers a star of the future. And then with, what was it, Timmy, a 1-point-something% chance to get the number one pick?
1.18%.
You end up with the number one pick.
By the way, the Mavs in existence since 1980 have never had the number one pick, even through the 90s when they consistently had 15 wins.
However, you had to be thrilled that Rolando Blackman from those teams in the 80s, he was the representative.
My second favorite Maverick of all time.
There you go. Ro Blackman brought the good luck for the pick. Nothing, JP, and we'll move on to the NFL schedule release and the Bucs stuff here in a second because I know you want to talk about that. But nothing tops the conspiracy theories of the first two draft lotteries, which we now go back 40 years ago to David Stern with the big drum, and this is out there on the internet again, turning the big drum right in front of him and pulling out the huge logos in the envelopes. And the first year, it was the New York Knicks coincidentally ending up with some guy named Patrick Ewing.
Right.
And the conspiracy theory that year was their envelope was bent on one corner one corner of the square. And so he knew, do not pick that one out until the very end, because he was the one actually doing it.
Right.
So then the following year in 1986, they still have the drum. They're still turning the drum on the live lottery. And that year, supposedly, the Boston Celtics envelope had been put in a freezer, literally, where it was freezing cold, where he knew if it's not freezing cold, don't pick it up. There is a moment in the Celtic lottery with the thing going where he has his hand on an envelope and mysteriously drops it and picks up the one beside it for the Celtics to get the number 1 overall pick.
It's a thing.
And then we go to the ping pong balls, and no one can understand the mathematical equation with the ping pong balls. No. All I know on a Tuesday morning on the JP Peterson show is that this is now the seventh consecutive NBA draft lottery where the team with the worst record did not get the number 1 pick. 7, JP.
Why it's a lottery.
7.
Yep. So you can't tank.
Let me ask you this, and then we'll move on. One more question here as we beat JP into the ground with NBA talk.
That's okay.
Is Flag, enunciate that, by the way, is Flag a better defender right now today in the NBA than Luka Doncic?
Yes, period.
There you go. I'm happy then.
The end.
Let's do it.
The other thing is he doesn't turn 19.
Every other player in the league.
Well, yeah, it's not saying much.
For the Mavs.
Yeah.
It's like the old Bobby Knight line, son, you can't guard a telephone pole. So back to Flag. He doesn't turn 19 until December.
Yeah.
How scary is he potentially going to be 2 years from now when he's like 21? How scary is he in 3 years when he's 22?
And he's holding Luka to 15 points every game.
I again submit to you, and he defends. He does. He hustles. He blocks shots. I submit to you, having watched him at the Final Four recently, and I joined you guys after being at that Final Four in San Antonio. Tremendous ball handling with the left hand already. He comes up the floor accelerating with the left hand dribble, and he's not a left-handed player. Yeah. He's got a skill set. We shall see.
6'7"?
He's every bit of that. He's maybe 6'8", 6'9". And by the way,
would you trade him for Giannis?
No. You got jersey sales, marketing, you're mending fences. That's not happening with Giannis. I don't care that Giannis won a title with Milwaukee. What do I know? But Timmy will be the first one to tell you if they can find a way to screw it up right now in Dallas, the Mavericks will find a way to screw it up. But it doesn't look like you're going to screw this up.
No, and I don't think the Mavericks screwed it up. That was
ding, ding, ding. That's enough.
All right, there we go on the draft lottery. Shall we move on to the NFL schedule release?
Yes. I'm sure you have the Bucs schedule right there in front of you.
I do not. And so I have been admonished. There's a word on Tuesday.
Oh, why did I even bring you on?
Be careful when I come on these shows and act like I know who they're about to play. So disclaimer number 1, first time here on the show. I don't know what the Buccaneers schedule is. And even if I did know, I would not be saying that I do know. Here's what we can safely deduce from all of this. All right. The Tampa Bay Rays are playing a home game as it stands on September 7th. And I know you guys have been over this.
That's Sunday.
So am I revealing a nuclear secret that the likelihood is the Buccaneers are either playing Sunday night at home, which is possible.
Yeah.
Did they go ahead and announce the Monday Night Football opener? I've been out of pocket for 2 hours. Did they not announce the Monday Night Football opener this morning?
I think they
first,
did. Yeah.
They may have on Good Morning America that ESPN and ABC announced the first Monday night game. Maybe they did not. I know they've announced all the international games, so we now know the Buccaneers are not the opponent for the Miami Dolphins in Madrid, in Spain, the first ever NFL game in Spain.
Been rumored. Yeah.
That had been rumored because they're on the Dolphins road schedule, but it's the Washington Commanders instead. The NFL announced that today. They announced all the international games, including the Falcons playing the Colts in Berlin, in Germany. The first ever game in Ireland is the Vikings and the Steelers. So the Bucs are not part of any of the international games. Timmy, I know you were looking. Did they announce the first Monday night game yet? I
it's
doubt
not
that
on the Monday Night Football or ESPN website. We just have the Week 10 matched up between Green Bay and Philly. Is all that they have on their website.
So you were told by the Buccaneers not to say anything. Well, one of your Buccaneer colleagues, Mr. Pat Donovan, said that the Rams and Bucs are playing on Thanksgiving night. So he's
so
already let the cat out of the bag.
He's putting something out there. Again, you got to be careful with all of this because these are websites that are doing schedule leaks. They're out there on the internet.
Yeah.
And there's one guy in particular that jacked his followers by tens of thousands by the time we got to the schedule. And then he put in like all caps, ha, 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 on Wednesday night. I know nothing. Thanks for following. So you got to be careful with, I have a source from the internet that says this.
Well,
now,
he works for the team, though, so he should know.
He works for the station. He doesn't work for the Buccaneers.
No, he's on the Buccaneer radio network.
That's correct, through the station. I'm helping you with the semantics on this. All right, so here's what we do know. All right, we know that they are on the Eagles' schedule, and the Eagles are coming here.
Right.
We know the Eagles, I think, are already down for about 57 standalone primetime games. So
yes,
I at this point, I know they're already playing the Thursday night opener at home.
Yeah.
What else did they announce? They announced that Saturday doubleheader late in the year, right before Christmas. The Eagles are playing one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
What did I see? The Black Friday game after Thanksgiving is the Eagles and the Commanders.
Yeah.
So I don't know this, but I believe it would probably be a Sunday Fox game because they love Philadelphia as the defending Super Bowl champs. You got the storyline with Tampa. Stay tuned on, is that a Sunday game? Remember last year it was a Sunday September hot game late in September. For the Eagles and the Bucs at Raymond James Stadium. So stay tuned for that. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
How about Ring of Honor, Tom Brady, when the Patriots come here?
Now you're on to something. And is that maybe a primetime game?
Yeah.
If that's the case, because obviously he can't, he would be here for Fox and you would honor him maybe at halftime, hypothetically. Yeah. Don't know if that's happening.
Wait, is Tom Brady worthy of the Ring of Honor?
And that's a great question. And do you want to go ahead? Do you want to go ahead and do it now when he's only been out for a couple of years, as opposed to waiting another year or two? Stay tuned. Here's what the Bucs sideline guy is concerned with the schedule release. Do you see where it says on the opponents at Buffalo?
Yes, that's all I care about.
The sideline guy, that is all I care about. Is that game a September game? I'm fine with that at Buffalo being an October game. I'm a little on that being a November game, but from
January
our
2nd?
Lips to the schedule maker, for the love of all that's holy, not December, not early January in Orchard Park. Oh, because it's an outdoor stadium. Yeah. It's 4 or 5 layers of clothes. It could be a foot of snow blowing sideways in the wind.
This is not the new stadium yet, right?
No, this is not the new stadium that will have the retractable roof. This is still the old stadium for another year. And
Stadium.
Again, what old Rich Stadium, correct. Good call. I think they now call it Highmark Stadium or something.
And the new stadium will also be Highmark.
And so the previous matchup 2 years ago was a Thursday night game in October. Beautiful, beautiful weather in Buffalo. I mean, if we're picking, if I can be like David Stern with the envelopes and the freezing cold envelope is Buffalo, can we go ahead and pick the freezing cold envelope for the September game?
Yes.
Maybe. In Buffalo, not the December or January. If that
you want to open at Buffalo, or is Buffalo already announced?
I don't know that they've announced what Buffalo is.
We could open the season at Buffalo. That'd be fine if we're going to be on the road.
And then the other one that I'm looking at is the Lions, which obviously the Bucs and Lions now have an immediate history with the Buccaneers winning at Detroit last year, week 2. Then the Lions had obviously won the divisional round playoff game 2 years ago. Is that a national TV game? Is that the Sunday night opener? Again, disclaimer, second time. I don't know. Right. I'm not reporting this. I'm saying, is that maybe the Sunday night or the Monday night opener?
That'd be a good one. Yeah.
Bucs at the Lions.
How many primetime games do you think the Bucs get here? I think they get almost
at least 3
or 4.
You're going to get a Thursday night game. You're going to probably get a Monday night home game, and then at least one more, I would think, because they've been a division winner and a playoff team, and they got relevant players. Everybody wants to watch Baker Mayfield. Everybody wants to watch Mike Evans. Here's the thing for the households. All right. So you are mentioning the internet report about Thanksgiving. The Bucs are on the Lions schedule. Hello. And is that maybe a Thanksgiving game at Detroit. Again, third disclaimer, I'm not reporting that. I don't know.
How would
I'm
Mrs.
just
Reeves
asking.
take that if Mr. Reeves is away for Thanksgiving?
So let's say that we've already had that conversation a couple of different times. And
or Christmas in LA.
Exact Christmas, all these, we understand the holidays. There has only been one occasion where the Buccaneers have played a Thanksgiving game, and Timmy, it was in Dallas against the Cowboys, obviously, 06. JP, did you cover that? For that?
I think I sent Lucas to that because I wanted to stay home with the fam.
All right, so that Thanksgiving game is Tony Romo, Terrell Owens, and the Cowboys against and that's Bill Parcells, against the John Gruden, Mike Allstott, Derek Brooks in his waning seasons, Rondé Barber Buccaneers. I still remember, and I tell this story to you, I've told it before, that the Bucs drove right down the field with the opening kickoff and scored a touchdown with Mike Allstott.
Yeah.
And then the Cowboys scored like 38 points in a row after that. And I'm standing down there at 21-7, 24-7, 31-7 going, ain't Thanksgiving great, kids, that we're standing here in Texas while the Cowboys are just drilling.
Yeah, but you got to stand next to the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders for the whole game.
I was down there.
Cry me a river, pal.
Carrie Underwood was the halftime show.
That's right.
That's right.
I remember that. Yeah.
Carrie Underwood was the halftime show. But all I'm saying is when you have to do the post-game show on Thanksgiving, first of all, to back up, I did Thanksgiving meal on a paper plate in the Cowboy Stadium press box with Dan Reeves, the former coach.
It was a good one, wasn't it?
My namesakes, yeah. Well, they have a pretty good spread.
They got a great spread.
It's not the same as being around the family on Thanksgiving.
Give me the stadium spread any day.
So stay tuned. Well, yeah, because you don't have to cook and you don't even really have to clean up.
So what you're trying to tell me is you got poor TJ had to stand next to Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and Carrie Underwood in thigh-high boots on Thanksgiving instead of being home with the fam, and you're like
complaining about it.
But I also am big on the holidays and the whole thing. Now that's pre-twins, by the way, when all that happened.
Yeah, I should be more correct. My wife made me stay home. What happened there?
I understand. But now we have this on the radar. Is it a Thanksgiving Day game? The Lions have literally played a division game, I want to say like 5 times in a row on Thanksgiving. And if I'm not mistaken, and Tim, you may be able to correct this, I think the Cowboys have played a division game over and over again, like 4 or 5 times in a row. Are they due to shake it up?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We'll see.
I think I saw a leak that had the two.
Is this from the site where the guy's going to go ha?
No, this is CBS.
The end of it,
where they had the Thanksgiving, the 2 early games, and then the other one was TBA. Hold on, stand by. No, they didn't have the other 2.
The Cowboys. Right. Yeah, we're back. 2021 was the last non-division opponent was the Raiders.
So 2021.
Yeah. How about this?
Haven't the Lions played the Bears each of the last 2 years, if not each of the last 3 years on Thanksgiving? I know they played them a year ago.
How about this? Can we not just wait? Like it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's just wait.
I agree.
When everybody will just tell us. We have to get the leak.
Well, everybody's got to know.
First.
Everybody's got to be first, even if you're not right.
Yeah. Better to be first than right. That's
in the present day. It doesn't seem that way. So anyway, do
you have a good? I'm gonna switch subjects here because I know you, the ultimate storyteller of local sports, have a great Longo story or stories, a 162 story, a game 162. My game 162. I don't know if I've ever shared it. Actually, I'm a little. Somewhat ashamed of my 162 experience.
Tell me your 162 story. And again, for those that are not familiar, this is how they made the playoffs on the final game of the season, game 162, with him hitting the game-winning home run. What is thy story, Mighty One?
It's the Yankees.
I don't know if I can tell it, actually.
Why? Does it out somebody on inside stuff or what?
Ashley might get mad.
All right. Though the only thing that I was
at 162. I was at 162.
That's the worst tease ever, by the way.
I was at the 162 with a female party guest.
Okay.
And we were guests of local, actually the Fox Sports was doing the games at the time, and they hosted us in their suite, lovely suite. We were watching the game. We were drinking, lots of free liquor, and the Rays were getting their ass kicked by the end.
Correct.
7 down 7-0, right?
Yeah, they were down 7-0. It was like the 7th, 8th inning. They're down 7-0, and we're like, and I don't leave games early. But my lovely guest wanted to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Was very
Never
insistent.
heard from again.
No, was very insistent about leaving.
And she prevailed upon you to leave game 162?
Yes. We're down 7-0.
Correct.
And she was, promising things that could happen.
Did she promise you a home run in the bottom of the 12th inning?
Maybe the equivalent, if you will, personally.
No.
So what you're saying
Let's just say the view I had of 162 was a very interesting one on the television.
You weren't even aware that Evan Longoria had hit home run 62.
Oh no, I saw it. I saw
much
it
later.
I saw Dan Johnson.
Yeah, because that's the guy. That's the guy that tied the game. Yeah. Am I not correct?
Yes,
with
2 outs, bottom of the ninth.
2 outs.
Bottom of the ninth.
That guy only
down
did
the right field line, right inside the foul pole.
He only did 2 things in his Rays career, and both times it was dramatic 2 strike, 2 out, bottom of the 9th inning home run.
Yes,
to win them a huge game.
Yeah,
or else there never is an Evan Longoria 162 moment with the home run down the left field line.
Yeah.
To win that. So
no one even knows who Evan Longoria is all these years later.
Yeah, now years later, the kids don't know, but you got to catch them up. But I think it's a really cool thing that obviously they're going to honor him, and he's going to retire as a Ray on the 1-day contract and the whole bit. He's one of the faces of the franchise and the turnaround.
Is he on the Mount Rushmore of Tampa Bay sports?
I think he's got to be considered because they turned it around. You only got 4 up there. Would he be the Rays representative if you're doing a Rays representative? So you go back to that magical 2008 year, which was his rookie year.
Rookie of the year.
All right, so that's the year the Twins were born. I distinguish everything pre and post Twins. So they were born in 08. Right. All right, so in your world, you're trying to figure out and navigate the date or whatever. I'm trying to navigate if I'm going to go cover the baseball playoffs. At that time, I was working for Sirius XM, Sirius XM. So am I going to go leave the wife at home with the babies and go cover the baseball playoffs? Well, it's the Rays' first ever playoff game in the opening round, and at that time they were doing the wild card round in the opening round. The wild card team, the Rays were the wild card team in 08. No, or the Rays were the division winner. The Rays were the division winner. That's why they were at home. So they were playing the White Sox, who were the wild card team. They were the 1 seed, and they were playing the White Sox in a best of 5. So I still remember this vividly. I get a call, and a lot of times we do things for people in broadcasting. You do things for me. I do things for you. Yeah. Tim, I do things for you. You do things for me. So I get there, and Sirius XM, the merger has now happened, and Sirius XM has this new channel, the Mad Dog radio channel, which is still on. Yep. And the guy that's in charge of it calls my cell phone literally about 10 minutes before the first pitch of the first ever Rays playoff game and says, hey, yeah, this is Steve, the program director at Mad Dog Radio, and I know you work for us, blah, 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 blah. Give me this whole spiel. And he goes, we need you to do top and bottom of the hour updates for us, like old school radio. Top and bottom of the hour updates for us live from the game. And I said, you mean every top and bottom of every hour of this? Yeah, we're going to need you to do top and bottom of every hour of this baseball playoff. So I'm now calling one of the other bosses going, what do I do here? First of all, I'm up in the beach, the upper level of Tropicana Field is where the overflow media was, JP. Were you there for those first couple of games sitting up in the beach? Because they didn't have enough room in the Trop press box. So I'm like,
I think I was actually in the press box.
I'm literally pinned in like mid row on like the 3rd row with all the media around you. And I've got to make 6 or 8 people get up for me to get up and get out of my seat and leave so that I can do these top and the bottom of the hour updates for Mad Dog Radio. So literally in the bottom of the 1st inning of the game with the Rays and the White Sox, I have to get up to go do one of these updates and go out of the beach area and go out in the concourse where I can be heard on the phone. As I am exiting, they announce now batting number 3, third baseman, Evan Longoria. And as I am waiting to go on live, I hear the crack of the bat, and my man has blasted a ball into the beach. Into the beach.
Where you were sitting.
Not where I was sitting, but home run number 1 for Evan Longoria on his first ever postseason at bat. Comes into the beach where I'm supposed to be, but I'm out in the concourse so that I can tell top and bottom of the hour updates that the Rays have hit a home run that I didn't see and didn't catch.
So we both missed historic home runs by Evan Longoria for different reasons.
Behold, he came up for the second at bat, and I was in the seat for the second at bat, and he hit a home run in the second at bat, and he became only like the third player at that point behind Andrew Jones and somebody else to homer in his first 2 postseason at bats. And it was amazing that day, but I missed the first one while we tell stories because, as I might have mentioned, I had to be on top and bottom of every hour to go tell them the score of the game. It's like, you guys, you have the internet in your studio. You can tell the audience what the score is from the internet. You don't have to have me to provide the score. This is not 1980. You don't need a guy. This is not 1980s
We're
radio.
Going live. We're going live to TJ.
We're going live. We're going live. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
So there's my Evan Longoria home run story. Not quite your 162, but that's the first playoff win. And yeah, I think he deserves to be in the conversation for the whole Mount Rushmore thing. I would agree, because he was a phenomenal player and leader for the resurgence of the Rays, for the only time that they really had sustained excellence for about 7 or 8 years. I won't say the only time, but the most prominent time was with him leading the team and with all that he was able to do. Tremendous defensive player, playing hurt, the whole bit. Longoria deserves a lot of consideration.
Yes.
I would agree.
Yeah, he was a fantastic glue to that Joe Madden. He was the constant, right? He was one of the few constants through the Joe Madden era. You pencil him in every day, third base, batting fourth, batting third, somewhere in that vicinity, whereas everything else was, all over the map most days. So, and then in the most Rays thing ever, 2017, they signed him to a 10-year or a 6-year, whatever, $100 million contract, and then trade him the next year.
Oh, of course, we knew he was never going to. He was never going to play long term under those huge contracts, because this just into the newsroom. Nobody else ever finishes those long term contracts. They always.
It doesn't have to be that way, TJ.
It does not have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way. We're a big enough market. We're big enough. We're big boys where we could actually have an owner that spent money and built a stadium in the right place and had plenty of revenue to do that. We could do that. We know that's allowed. That's allowed. It's not baseball rules that we have to have a cheap owner. That's not.
By the way, I have not been locked in last week or this week. Do we have any further update on where are we in the process of? Well,
evidently Orlando
either got to put up and get the stadium built in Tampa, or somebody else is going to own this team and is going to get that deal done. We're at kind of like a standstill right now.
I think the last meaningful piece of news, honestly, was Rob Manfred meeting with the Rays players and telling them, chill out. There's a solution in Tampa Bay. Don't worry about it. It's all going to be fine. Steinbrenner is temporary. Good things are coming. You don't have to move your family. There are things being done behind the scenes that.
And by the way, I ascribe to the theory that when it's quiet like this, a lot of times that's a lot better. That means things.
All this noise that Orlando is making is just noise. It's just noise, and everybody's, Brody Brazil put out another video about Orlando. I'm like, okay, that doesn't do anything. It doesn't move the needle. Great guy, wonderfully produced videos, all fantastic. Mike Bianchi wrote another column. Super, wonderful. Enjoy reading it. Some dude has money. He wants to buy the team. Great. Okay. Have you have any votes done by the Orlando City or County Commission? Or nope. Are any political figures speaking about it? Yes, they said sure, but show me the return on investment before we spend any money.
Do you want to go ahead and confess that Stu Sternberg is the one leaking all of this to you and wants to inflate the price of his franchise by having a leverage play? Common sense.
And he can't go out and talk to the other places yet. He hasn't gotten permission, and he's not going to get he might, I don't know, but he hasn't gotten permission to talk to other markets yet, to do the Dave Sampson Marlins junket, where you go to all the expansion cities and have them kiss your ass and drive up the price for, and get the thing done. That's, which Dave Sampson actually admitted to in public that he did.
Well, right.
And
All
said
right, so
we had no intention of ever going to any of them, but they wanted me to do it, so I did.
And stay tuned on all this. Well, I was talking with another national media member who was talking about maybe coming down here and going to a game, and he was saying to me, "What's the status with replacing the Trop's roof and playing games in the Trop?" And again, I will disclaim for like a fifth time in this interview, I'm not plugged in. I'm not reporting anything, but I've been here for the entirety of all of this going back to the 1980s. Just because the city of St. Petersburg says, yeah, we would intend to spend the money and fix Tropicana Field doesn't mean that they are going to spend the money and fix Tropicana Field.
They voted them. It's been a month since they voted or more. Have we seen any fabric roof going up at the Trop?
And the truth of the matter is there is back and forth going on don't give him any leverage or any reason, he being Sternberg, to sue you. And
right.
So right now you're going to say publicly, of course, we'll spend that $50, $60, $80, $100 million repair for him to try to play a year or two and then still play somewhere else after that. What right. kind of insanity are we living in? So the one thing that I just keep saying to people privately, and I'm saying it now here on the show, just because you say you're going to do something doesn't mean that that's what they're actually going to do.
And clearly, even if you have an agreement.
Because we said at the time, a year ago at this time, we will believe it when there are shovels in the ground and they're actually doing it. And I
said there will never be shovels in the ground.
I submit on a Tuesday, was the man who hosts this show right for all those months on Believe It When You See It? Or was he somehow incorrect?
And I think I got that one right.
You did get that,
that one right.
Continue to do so.
All right, my friend. It's always great to hear from you. And just chatting with you is always a joy.
Stay tuned for the schedule release. Again, be thinking of me on the at Buffalo tomorrow night whenever you see that.
And just to close, I had a much better excuse of missing a Longo home run than you did.
Yes, that's true. Top and bottom of
every
every
hour.
hour.
It was better.
It was top and bottom.
You guys behave.
All
right. Timmy, make sure that you get me like a Cooper Flag, jersey, shirt, souvenir, something.
I'll get it autographed for you if you want.
We'll get all that lined up. You guys be well. I look forward to seeing the schedule release. I'll be back whenever you need me.
All right.
You guys
Thanks,
be well.
buddy. Appreciate it. Great, TJ Reeves. All right. That was always fun to chat with him. We're gonna get together, play some golf, and have some beers. Yeah. And it's that season to do so. All right. We need another break. Let me take another break, and then we'll come back on the other side. And I want to talk about this. We're going to talk some actual NBA on the floor. A lot went down last night, including Jason Tatum, and hockey as well. We've got to get to this Panthers owner Twitter beef. We're brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing. Summer is coming. It's here, actually. And you need your unit in tip-top condition. So go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Have them come out and do a service for you to get your unit in top condition so you don't have the dreaded, honey, the air conditioner's out. Call. You don't want that. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They do AC. Anything mechanical at your home, they'll get it done. Great folks over there. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Back in 3.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite. I love it. So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Going through a medical emergency without health care insurance can cause you to go into crippling debt. In most scenarios, people are forced to either break into their retirement funds or worse, they're forced to file for bankruptcy. The sad truth is that health care insurance is crucial in today's day and age. Look, I get it. Many of you think you're never going to get sick and health insurance is really expensive. Well, we can help you out with that. Depending on your income, we can find great plans and huge discounts. God forbid you get cancer, a car accident. It could literally ruin you financially for life. So make the call and find out. Even though the open enrollment period is over, you may have some qualifying life events that can help you get covered right away. It can be very complicated, a very intimidating process, but we can help. Go to our website and check out all the 5-star reviews about our helpful agents. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Brought by Cafe Paradiso. Man, I might just have to run over there and get me some lasagna. My fast is over as soon as this show is over. I'm so freaking hungry. Oh, it could be a 16-hour fast. That's a lot for me. It's a lot. And I haven't even been that chippy on the show today. I think that's pretty good. Cafe Paradiso on South McDill there. Go see my good friend Paolo Tini. They have the best Italian food, great wine selection. It's just such an enjoyment to be there. And the staff is amazing. They've been doing it for years. They know the menu inside out. And whatever you want, they'll make it for you. I shouldn't say that out loud.
I mean, they do that for us.
Yeah, they'll do it for anybody. But the regulars that go there, they know that.
Yeah.
They just go in there and I'll tell them, hey, can I get this? Can I get that? Yeah. They get that for you.
Hey, can you make me a gourmet SpaghettiOs?
It's like a real old, like a local, locally owned restaurant, not a chain. Imagine that.
I figure.
Imagine that. So much better. All right. By the way, Trump just announced $600 billion in investment from the Saudis.
Yeah, he's over there smoozing it up this morning.
So I wonder if that includes that dude buying the Rays.
Maybe Trump will buy the Rays.
Ooh, maybe. All right, so Panthers owner Doug Saifu, I don't know. So he got into a really great idea if you're an owner of a franchise to get into it on Twitter with fans. Like, I can't think of anything better.
Now, he's not the majority owner, right?
No,
Isn't he just like a governor or the
Yeah,
substitute governor or something?
He's one of the minority owners, but he's
Right.
So this guy, Dr. Grizzo, comes at him and says, hey, what's worse, using headshots to win a series
or using starvation as a weapon to win a war. I guess Sifo is a supporter of Israel.
Yes.
So a little anti-Semitism mixed into the trolling,
Yes.
which is always nice.
Sure.
So Sifu responds, actually, being a whiny dope anti-Semite is clearly worse, loser.
I would have supported the response had he not included the word loser. Don't take a personal attack on the guy.
That's one of Trump's best words. I'm
Loser.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, presidents should not be using calling people losers, but
It's kind of funny, right?
It is kind of, he's different. Dr. Grizzo then responds, not approving of using starvation as a weapon makes me a bigot. Okay, got it. Get some sleep, man. Get some sleep, man. Market opens early. Best of luck front-running Robin Hood traders, you maggot D-licker. To which Sifo responds, each shite 51st state anti-Semite loser. Israel now and forever until every last Hamas rat is eliminated.
God.
That's a lot. There's a lot going on there. So the NHL suspended him for.
So what does it mean to suspend him? He just can't go to the game, right?
Can't go to owners' meetings. Can't go to the game.
I mean, so what?
Yeah.
He'll probably still be there.
Yeah, you think they'll let him in a costume or something?
Put a mustache on like Bobby Valentine did. The dugout for the Mets.
Oh my God. Games last night again could have been 2-2, but the Canes win and go up 3-1 in that series on the Capitals. They're just really, really good last night. That was a good game, kind of a back and forth game. Sean Walker got a big goal there. So I'm sorry, no, that was in the other game. God, I can't even read my freaking notes. So all these,
I can't.
Yeah, exactly. So those two series now are 3-1, and Carolina looks every bit that they could win the East. You know, I don't think the Florida-Toronto team might be too beat up at that point because the Canes seem to be having their way with Washington. So
yeah, that surprised me a little bit too. After watching Washington in the first round.
Yeah,
against my Habs, I didn't think Carolina. Of course, they disposed of the Devils pretty easily, 4-1 in the first round. I didn't watch a lot of Carolina hockey.
Yeah, they're really good.
But look really now at this.
Imagine if they had Rantanen.
So the big storyline, of course, in the West is the Stars up 2-1 on Winnipeg, Edmonton up 3-1 on the Golden Knights.
Yeah, they did that last. Did you see Aiden Hill trip and then get a penalty? And they got Vegas got a power play out of it. How does nobody in Toronto see that? I mean, clearly the refs missed it. I get that because they're dealing with all the rest of the shit that's going on. So, but somebody in Toronto had to see that. That was clearly clear as day. He stuck his skate out there to trip the guy to start crap, and then the Knights end up getting a power play out of it. And the Edmonton ended up winning, but that was BS. That you got to be better than that. But
so the NHL right now is just rubbing their hands together at the possibility now of a Stars Hurricanes final. Miro Heiskanen versus his other former team. I mean, can you imagine the storylines going into that after what we saw against Colorado and Dallas?
I don't think they want Carolina in the final at all. They'd rather.
No, but if you want storylines, you're rooting for that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Not ratings.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the NHL, though, we could give them this. They never really, we can never say, oh, they fixed it because they wanted a big, they never do that. Obviously, look at Tampa Bay and Florida and, in the last 5 finals. So,
I mean, you got no big teams, no big, huge market teams other than Florida. I mean, Toronto.
No, but Dallas looks at this point, Dallas looks unstoppable. But listen, Edmonton, it ain't going to be easy. Edmonton is playing some good hockey.
They're playing really well. And don't forget, last year's Western Conference final was Edmonton and Dallas. And Edmonton disposed of Dallas in 6 last year. So
right.
Different teams, though, at least for the Stars. But, it's Dude, I'm into all of these series. All of these series
they're
are
great.
amazing.
The hockey is just unbelievable right now. That Panthers-Toronto game, the games have been just so physical.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get even better.
Toronto is playing the Panthers like Tampa Bay should have played the Panthers.
I hate to say it, but
they could.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but yeah. And last night, the freaking Knicks went up 3-1. Jalen Brunson was unbelievable. I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched a lot of it. Man, 39 points last night. He was unstoppable. When he gets going, he's one hell of a player. And Bridges has been unbelievable. Towns. The Knicks are up 3-1, and Jason Tatum went down last night after getting another 40-piece. His fifth 40-point game, matching Bird and Havlicek with the Celtics record. But he was incredible last night, but he looked like he turned his ankle really, really bad. I see players come back from this all the time, but down 3-1 with Jason Tatum. Bye-bye Celtics. How about the Knicks? The Knicks and the Cavs are going to be out too.
How about Jalen Brunson, former Dallas Mavericks draft pick? We had Luka and Jalen Brunson on the same team.
How about that?
Until Brunson decided he wanted to go play for his dad, and you know what? There was nothing. Yeah, no, good for him. And he was not going to sign with the Mavericks, re-sign with them for anything. He wanted to go to New York and play for his dad. And a lot of people were like, God, the Mavericks couldn't even keep Brunson. It had nothing to do with that. He was going to leave no matter what because he had an opportunity to go play with his dad, for his dad.
And the T-Wolves went up 3-1 on the Warriors. Steph still not playing. Ant went off last night in the second half. He was freaking unbelievable. 30 total. Julius Randle, by the way, is like owning people. That he had 31 last night. They go on a 17-0 run in the third period and just blow out the Warriors 117-110. So they're now 3-1 as well. So it looks like the T-Wolves are moving on. Man, it's an interesting series. A lot of new faces, a lot of new stars. I'm here for it. In hockey and NBA.
The T-Wolves ran into the Mavericks machine last year on their way to the finals, and I said they're about a year away, and this might be their year in the West.
Ant's still a little spotty. He's not consistent enough. He's not mature enough to be as consistent as he needs to be in the playoffs. But when that dude's on, forget about it. Yep. And Randall is a monster. He's a freaking shooting threes, dunking the ball, going inside, outside. He is a force. Man, it's interesting. It's new teams, it's new faces.
Yeah, and I'm highly in the West. I'm highly disappointed in two teams here this postseason. It's the Thunder and the Cavs. I thought the Cavs were going to be better than this. Thought they matched up well against the Pacers, but they're not playing like it. And I thought
Halliburton's been really good.
Yeah, I thought the Thunder were going to roll the Nuggets, and it's not happening.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff, my friend. Thank you very much. Thanks to TJ Reese for joining us tomorrow. Greg Allman and Scott Reynolds are going to join us. Big Bucs Day tomorrow. Also, I'm doing an interview with Ken Erickson, softball coach, USF. They're in the tournament again. They're heading up to Tallahassee, so we'll catch up with him. We'll probably have that interview on Thursday or when we play tomorrow. We'll see what goes on. But we definitely have the 2 Bucs Gets coming on tomorrow, so join us for that. Have a great day, everybody. Go Rays tonight at the Blue Jays. See you then.